Welcome to In the Know with Steph and Joe. In the Know with Steph and Joe is all about small business development. These two entrepreneurs bring real-life experience, laughter, and, well, just a ton of knowledge on how to build your small business and make it thrive. After all, this is your creation. Now learn how to make it sing. In the Know with Steph and Joe airs Fridays at 3 p.m. right here on 216 The Net. Like, follow Steph's books and Restoration One of Cary, along with 216 The Net on Facebook, and subscribe to the 216 The Net YouTube channel. Welcome in.
Welcome. Hi.
Checklist or bust?
Hi. My checklist. Water.
Order.
Water. Check.
It's been an adventurous green room, to say the least, today.
To say the least.
I wish too many people could be here for the green room, or at least Kent would hit the record button while we're in the green room.
We'll do like one year. We should do like a bloopers reel for like Christmas of the green room and see how that goes.
We have to actually hit record on the green room then, because
Right.
every time we're sitting in here before the show, we always talk, but it's not recording.
Yeah. Hey, look who's in early.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
So, all right. So today we're doing checklists or busts. So I feel like it could go in so many different directions, but I feel like you have your busy time where I don't know if you guys do this like during like the holiday season where you create like a checklist. I create like a menu and stuff. So I have everything written down and I know, or if I'm busy at work, I have my time blocking or my checklists, or Kent had found while we were in the green room a self-care checklist, which he had mentioned that a lot of entrepreneurs or upper management really just don't take that time to kind of go through that. I guess does checklist transition from business into your personal life? There's so many different questions and things and avenues we can go down the road with those.
Checklists.
Yeah.
So what do you first create a checklist for? What's your first checklist genre? Like, right? Like when you need to do something, what's the first category that you create a checklist for? Is it work? Is it personal? Is it, hey, I'm going on a trip. Let me just create these are the things I need for the trip, right? Kent, you went on a guy's trip.
Yes.
Right? I'm sure you probably had a little checklist of things that you wanted to pack to go on the trip, right? Like,
So this was our 21st year.
wow.
So I would say for the first 3 or 4 years, yes. For the last 17, no.
18.
Right.
18.
Now you're like,
Okay.
You're like,
Okay.
I know what I'm
You got
bringing.
it. You know where you're going
Yep.
because you guys have done it at the same
Yeah.
time, everybody.
And we've got to play it. So the least amount that I can bring, the best.
My guys' trips change locations every year. So
Yeah.
I change my checklist every year.
Yeah.
Do you guys create a checklist for everything when you go? Like if you
like
go,
a written checklist? No,
okay.
I don't create a written
okay.
checklist every time.
What's okay? Is it the same to create a written one versus one in your head?
I feel like the one that I write down is more
Important.
pressing as for deadlines that I have to do all of it. Like, but since I travel kind of frequently,
Mm-hmm.
I have a checklist, but it's just in my head and I don't need to like write it down and be like toothpaste, deodorant, this, like it's similar to what Kent was saying, that once you've been on that same trip or similar travel so many times, you just know what you want and you put it on the counter.
So you kind of almost already have that kind of built together in your checklist. Hey, I call it a ditty bag, is my bag that has all my toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant.
Oh, the ditties.
Right?
Mhm.
The ditties, your toiletry bag, right? Some people call it a toiletry bag, right? So that bag is always together. I don't use that stuff on my toilet. I don't use that bag on a day-to-day basis
Right.
in my bathroom. I use, so like I just have it so I can literally like grab it and go. Is that kind of what you guys are talking about?
Yeah. So I agree with Mom, with Linda. I do, to make sure I get all my errands completed. So on a
Right.
weekend,
Mm.
Alice will put together a checklist. We need this done. We need this done. It helps me. It helps the kids stay focused and make sure that things get done.
And let's all point out, this is outside of work. What our episode is really about work, right?
Yeah.
But like, you can't get your poop in a group shit together.
Yeah.
Right? You can't get your poop in a group if you don't have your personal life together. You can't get your poop in a group on the business side to say, hey, this is everything I need, right? So we're just trying to compile it together initially. Now, you get your poop in a group, you're going on a trip, you got all your stuff together. You go on your trip for business. Is this business trip something that you feel you wanna,
I mean, like, I know you made fun of me last year,
yeah.
but
yes.
everybody knows the QuickBooks conference is coming up. Okay. So we are going.
I'm not going to do it again this year, clearly.
So I'm taking my whole team to the QuickBooks conference, and we're going to go. And I said today in the office that the classes are slowly being released for the sessions for the continuing education that we're going to do. And that once the classes are slotted into the time slots, then we'll pick the classes for everybody. And then I'll be making the spreadsheets so everybody has a detailed itinerary in their hotel rooms.
Yeah.
And you made fun of me for it, but Valerie and Melanie were so excited for the
itinerary.
The color coordinated itinerary.
Spreadsheet itinerary.
Yes, because it says it has the addresses of places, our dinner reservations, our show reservations, our class reservations, our airplane reservations. Everything's on there.
So okay, so this is a good transition from personal to business. Is when you go to an event and you're going for business, are you creating and like you're obviously doing this for your employees, so they're present during the business events that they need to be present for, right? Do you schedule in time for them to do their own thing, their personal things?
Yeah, I call it downtime, but yeah.
Love that.
So it's on the itinerary where it says downtime, and then if you want to do something like together as a group, we can, or if you want to go do something by yourself, then
you got an auntie in town that we flew into and you just want to go see her, you can go do that.
Yeah. So so it's all built into the itinerary, which is kind of like a checklist because you're going to do said things throughout the day at these specific times. And then as the day goes on, you check them off until you get to the end of the day where you have your downtime. So.
I love that. Now you're creating a checklist. They love that. Do you think all people love a good checklist for when they go on events? Right?
For a business trip, I feel like, because then you know when you need to be ready, you need to be present, you need to know like if it's like the important day and you need to dress a little bit nicer versus like more casual days of the conference, or
You include that in your checklist? Because I never got that included in my checklist. I'd always show up to insurance events in like a freaking polo shirt and everybody's in business suits.
Oh, like I tell.
Not that I didn't own a business suit.
So like I told everybody like they can
otherwise.
They could travel like they could travel in whatever attire they're comfortable traveling in.
Totally.
Then we're gonna go to hotel check. We're gonna go to check in at 12 o'clock to get our badges for the conference. Then at 3 o'clock, we're checking into our hotel. Then at 5:30, we have dinner reservations. So you need to be in the lobby. Then
a happy hour and conference, whatever. Yes, we have a question from the audience.
I think that, and I love what you do because I think that checklists eliminate a lot of anxiety, especially if you're going to
for your employees. Yeah, for new people. Let's be specific here because honestly. If I'm showing up and I'm 20 years into this event, I don't want you to send me a checklist.
But how are you going to know what classes you have to take?
Like, don't care.
You have to care because I specifically pick those classes based upon
Nope.
the clients that you handle for us and the learning that I want. And
Well,
you
if
have to
I'm
take
20 years in, you should rely on me to understand.
and you have to take notes and you have to present
Nope.
your notes to me after
Nope.
class. Like
Nope.
yeah.
Nope. 20 years in.
Yeah, you're not out there for a vacation. I agree with Steph. I don't care.
Like-
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
So now you create the checklist. The checklist is for your employees.
I have my own.
Yeah.
That's why everybody knows where everybody's at any time of the day.
It's called
I love that.
communication.
So if there's like
I'm not
if there's like
dissing
if
it,
there's like an
communication.
emergency situation or somebody like you know where I'm at, I know where you're at, like we're all aware of our surroundings.
Yeah,
Correct.
I like.
Okay.
So listen, being a husband, right? I
Mhm.
can ask my wife and kids 17 times, like, Dad, we just told you 5 minutes ago.
Where I'm at.
If I've got it on a checklist, I don't have to scroll. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, I got to be over here. Then I got to do this now. For me, no matter how long I've been there, in the industry I am, there are certain things I have to do to get ready for compliance.
Mm-hmm.
So I can show you in my backpack, I have a checklist for every loan that I do. Here's what I need to do. Now I know what to do, but it mentally helps me go, okay, I didn't skip anything. And that way, if there is a question, I go, wait a minute. Oh, I didn't check that off.
Now, do you feel that checklist is helpful in the long run to make you more consistent?
Yeah, I'm a scripter. I will be what they call a scripter. A lot of my conversations are the same. A lot of the things that I do are the same in order, so that if I ever get a question, I can be like, no, that's not how I do it. That would be weird. That would be weird that I would do it that way.
Creature of habit, as many people would call it.
Yeah.
Right.
We have checklists though, like on all of like the scope of work. So like if a client has expense coding, accounts receivable, reconciliation, like every service that we offer is on this checklist, and it's customized to the client, to whatever their services are, and then my staff can check it off as they complete said section of the work.
Does that checklist for completing things keep you more efficient?
I think while they're getting used to it and getting like acclimated into the groove, yeah, I think it keeps them, because then you're not toggling between, like you're not over here working on this and then you're here and then you gotta go back to here and then you could do things in a proper order then.
So your business, right? And it's different in every business, but your business, remediation and things like that, is there are you have a checklist.
We build a scope for every
bang,
job, right?
bang,
This
bang,
is the
bang.
scope. This is every single detail of what we're going to do. Correct.
And all of a sudden, your 20-year veteran goes, I got this. And all of a sudden, they start remediating mold without putting the zipper door on. Right? And now you're like, well, yeah, I've been doing it 20 years, Joe.
This is totally fine. It's totally fine. Totally fine, right?
So I like the fact that I think, yes, you get to a point where, hey, it becomes rote, right? So it becomes routine. But at the same time, all of a sudden the phone rings, a dog barks, something, and I forgot to zip up the zipper door. Right?
Now, okay, all of us here being employers, meaning we have people underneath us. Somebody forgets to zip the zipper door, or because to be honest, I could literally just put up a piece of plastic, cut a slit in it, and there's no zipper on it, but it's the exact same thing as if the zipper wasn't on there, right?
Right.
It's literally just a slit in the plastic, but the zipper's not there, so you can't zip it up. It just right, a little flap in the wind, right. So how do you approach your employees or your subordinates with that kind of like, hey, you missed one check on the checklist in order, right? How much of a difference does that make to you guys?
It depends on what they're doing. I mean, like today, for example, we had a situation with payroll journal entries. And with it not being entered in this specific order, it caused the math to be imbalanced, which then caused you not to be able to match it against the bank expenses coming out
properly.
So,
Right.
by you not doing it in the way and the steps and putting those specific things on those specific lines of the journal entry is wrong.
It's wrong.
And then you had to redo it.
That's a checklist.
So, yeah, I mean, there's like a way to do things. Like I've explained to Rich before with accounting, you can't do, if there's steps 1 through 4, you can't do step 1 and then step 3 and then go back to step 1 and then step 4. Like you're not going to get the results.
The same answer.
You're not going to get proper results for that.
That would be
So
like
my
the,
life is very structured.
That would be like the what is it? The 2 times in parentheses 2 times 2 plus 2.
Mhm.
So
Right? If you were to just do it, you're not going to get the same answer.
let's say that somebody's been doing a show for several years and it's not a checklist to say make sure the microphones are not muted.
I feel like this is directed at me. I feel like this is
This is clearly some
And let's
shots
just,
fired.
and let's just say the producer happens to be
Gone.
camping,
Gone on a
Yeah.
guy's trip
right? So I mean,
last week.
and Ron,
No
Ron,
sound.
one of the original founders, mentor of mine, always said, you have to make sure that you memorialize everything. There should be something where somebody doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They should be able to open up and go, here it is.
Well, so I'm just going to say to that.
Yeah.
Right before somebody called, this alleged person, I took the purple notebook out and I was looking at it as that person was looking at it as the phone rang.
Did it make
And I
sense?
was like, oh, yeah. And then I started, and then the phone rang. But yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that a checklist, I think, mainstream or streamline, not mainstream, but streamline a lot of workflows for people and to get rid of a lot of anxiety.
So, do you think that checklists are something that are kind of not making things, but do you think that a checklist makes certain procedures in your business dummy proof? Not dummy proof, but like, not because dummy's a bad word, but like, like literally, are you trying to create things to where anybody should be able to come in and read that checklist and be able to execute the process unto which you want done?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody should
Yes.
be able to look at it and be able to identify. I mean, like, it's not like it might be, I don't know.
Not
like,
anybody, but like a relatively
Like
somebody that's
any
in
Intelligent being.
yeah. But I mean, like,
or
any,
been out
like,
in the world, right? Like not
employee-
like a kid.
well, so like if Melanie's working on an account, okay,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
and
Way to
that's
go, Melanie.
and that's her account that she works on and everything.
Just wait.
and then-
Somebody else is coming into play here.
But if Melanie, like, while she was out of town,
On vacation.
one of us on the other, either me, Valerie, or Parker, had to pick up the slack. And so with the detailed notes that Melanie had sent us on certain accounts, we were able to, execute it in a relatively seamless manner so where the clients didn't really feel the
Now,
The burden.
do you feel that your checklists for that's like, okay, you pull up to a gas station. There's a checklist on how to pump gas into your car.
Right.
Right?
okay.
These are very simple checklists.
Put out cigarettes.
Thank you. I didn't want to go and call our listeners that dumb.
That's
Bush 1G.
What's up?
What's up, G? So if you were to go and fill your car with gas,
Yes.
could you follow that simple checklist? Now, are those simple tasks that anybody should be able to do with a simple checklist? Or are we talking complex things that there needs to be a certain,
It could go both
if
ways.
not a checklist before, but at least a protocol unto which you need to be able to hit us, right? Like your employees, I can't come in and be your employee and watch your checklist and go and follow Valerie's. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm not a trained bookkeeper accountant.
Right. But I think it goes like both ways. Like there's certain things that the general population should be able to look at the list and whatever and be able to figure it out and identify. And then there's more complex things that are industry specific or company specific that would be into that. But I mean, like when if I work from home on a day, I will create a checklist where it has like client, load of laundry, client, dishes, client. Like I will build in all of that stuff because otherwise I'll go down.
Show in the grotto.
Right. I'll go down like I need to like have everything like out on there if I'm working from home. Otherwise I'll get distracted where I'll get so in depth in one thing or the other.
Listen, here's the deal. If
Uh-huh.
checklist didn't work, God wouldn't have sent down a checklist to Moses.
I think it was more Noah that got the checklist, right? How to build the ark. Here you go. To me, that's more Noah has got the checklist.
I'm just saying.
Moses, he just got like 1 or 2 things. That's not a checklist.
No,
You got to have like 10 items.
Moses got 10.
Everybody got 10.
So
Everybody got 10. Anyway, we're moving on.
what's the difference?
That's
Because I
not this
feel like
show.
sometimes I struggle with this, but what's the difference between the checklist of things that need to be accomplished versus you doing time blocking for things that need to be accomplished? Because I feel like with the time blocking, I get a little like distracted or go down some crazy rabbit holes, and then like I
How
don't
do you
know
get
what happened.
Wait, how do you get distracted with time blocking? Because time blocking, you're literally supposed to be focused on one thing. That's the point of time blocking.
Oh, then I do it wrong.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Let me
Yes, you do. Wait, really?
I'll answer that.
Okay.
A checklist, I can go at any time during the day, go, oh shit, I got to do step 3. Oh, I got to check this off. I got to check this off. A time block, I go, I really don't have time for that right now. Right? You can take a look. I can show you my calendar. I got time blocks all over it. And literally, it'll,
None of them happen.
It'll go, boop, time for marketing. I'm like, oh, too busy.
Nope. So, okay. So time
Yeah,
blocking.
that's what I do.
Time blocking to me is you're literally saying, hey, this hour or 2 hours or whatever time frame it may be, you're saying I'm setting this side of time and I'm focusing 100%, relatively speaking, mostly 100% on this task for this time period. I agree with Kent. A checklist to me is like, hey, I got to go and dig a hole for my wife's huckleberry bush.
Oh, I love huckleberry bushes.
I can't think of it. What is it now? I actually just dug a hole for her hibiscus.
Oh,
It's a hibiscus. It's
Yeah.
a hibiscus plant.
Wow.
And so I dug a hole and she's like, she kept telling me it's on my checklist, but there's no time frame, right? Like a time block is a set time frame. A checklist is you just got to get it done. Whether the checklist is for today, this weekend, this
And
week.
at least in my relationship, Alice runs on time blocks. I run on checklists.
Yeah.
Hey, I asked you to do this. I know. I'm going to get to it. No, I asked you 3 weeks ago. No, I know. I'm going to get to it.
Sounds good.
Did not fit into her time block.
So that's a communication barrier on the difference between time block. All right. So yeah.
However, she gave me a list. I'd have had it done.
Well, so it's just that like, okay, so like
Would you have done that list in her time blocking period?
I imagine I would. Because
Yeah.
if she writes out a list like on a day that we all got chores, man, I'm all over it. Let's get it done as fast. It's a game to me. Let's get it done as fast as we can.
Oh, I love that because you give me a checklist and I'm like, how fast can I get this done? And then go relax and do whatever I want to do.
I got it.
So a checklist is kind of like a game
Yes, I agree.
to you.
To me, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your Garmin or whatever, or it's like, hey, you're gonna get to Lansing, Michigan in 6 hours. I can beat that time.
Fuck you. I'm doing it faster.
By how many minutes, right?
Yeah.
That's what a checklist.
Yeah, because like if I need something done on a list or a task, like for work, if I send it to Rich, I put a specific time of when I need it completed by.
Yeah.
For him, if I don't put the time, then it's like 3 or 4 follow-ups sometimes if he's like distracted or busy with like other
Carrie
stuff.
and I got to do this now.
So, like,
this is something that
I
I'm
will put
learning.
Like
Ooh.
I said, like I'll say, like, please create work ticket, put on said employee, need this on their schedule by Thursday, because I told client we would
So
have
you give them a checklist
reports.
and a time block.
Like just
It's a smart
for,
goal.
Like work,
That's a smart goal.
This is smart.
like
that's a smart
work,
goal.
like work tasks. Yes, at home tasks,
No.
he does it at his
Leisure.
I
Well,
guess.
that's what I say. We're checklist.
Well, did you put the same time frame on it?
I can't do that at home.
Yeah, you. I'm
No.
sorry, Rich. No, you can't. My bad, Rich.
You're
My
right.
bad, Rich.
You're
My
right.
bad, Rich.
You're right. Yeah.
No, you can't. You're right. No, you can't.
Nope. At work, different. At home, no.
Yeah. See, what Alice will do is be like this weekend or Saturday.
Right.
She'll
By
title the
this
checklist.
time. By this time. See,
Right.
So you
okay,
have till
Carrie and I don't do that.
11:59 p.m. on Saturday to
Get it
get
done.
that done.
It won't go that long because I try to get it on.
So
as
if
I can,
she's
so I can
like,
do
I
nothing.
want all the weeds pulled at 10:02 p.m., you're out there. You're like,
At-
it was done before
at-
Sunday.
At 9:45, he's out there pulling all the weeds.
So I came back from man camp, and of course got smoky, smelly clothes, right? And I throw them in the hamper. She's like,
No, sir.
The F are you?
Why did we do that?
The F are you doing?
So that was Monday. So Tuesday she said, you wash this. I'm like, all right. So I wash them, right? And then
Is that how your washer
yeah,
goes?
and then I go to basketball practice, whatever the case may be, and the clothes are now in the dried, right? So I washed them, I dried them, I didn't fold them.
They're just in the dryer.
And she's like, "What are you doing? You need to fold
They're
them."
just in the dryer.
No, I took them out, put them in a basket.
Where's the basket?
Well, the basket was in the living room.
Well, see, that's your problems. You didn't
So then I
hide
came-
the
then-
you didn't
then-
hide the basket, so
then I-
that way the basket's not in
But then
clear
I came
visible
home.
sight.
But then I came home and I folded them. I'm not a good folder. I'll admit that.
Are they all your clothes?
Yeah.
Then
There was
why
a few socks that weren't.
Why does it matter? You
Right.
can't fold socks.
So I fold it, and then I leave it in the basket for another day.
Lori B, child. Who are
Why
you?
did you carry this up when you went to bed? Like, I just didn't want to. I'll get it tomorrow.
Well, it's just like when we come home from
What the
vacation,
hell?
I'll empty all the suitcases
Yeah.
and then I'll put them because they go in the basement. Rich goes in the basement because that's where his computer is.
Right.
And
He
I'll-
should
Trips
pick it up.
over
I'll
all
put them
the
at the top of the stairs
yeah,
for him to bring
trips
down.
over all
He'll
the
Move
baskets.
them.
Oh yeah.
He'll move them over so he goes down the stair, and he doesn't bring But if I tell him hey, on Saturday bring said suitcases into the basement, it happens.
It was not on the checklist.
Yeah.
All right. Here's yeah. Gosh, there's so many
You have to be very specific.
marital disputes here that we could go over.
I mean, 31 years. I was like, I shouldn't have to. I'm like, yeah, you really should. After 31 years, you should know. Put it on the list.
Don't you know who
Okay.
I am?
It's a game.
It's a game. I mean,
Yeah.
all right. So George Chase just chimed in. He
Hey,
said,
Hey, George.
when I pull clothes from the dryer, I do the hanger stuff, and Amy gets Amy, I assume is his wife,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
gets the bucket of folding stuff.
Yeah.
There it is. There is a great separation. However, who puts it away? Right? That's not written down. Who puts it away?
So I.
You put your own stuff away?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I also put it. I have to stage it, right? So I've got to have shirts and each shirt, and then I open each drawer, put it.
Well, I put
Oh
everything in
my-
the same
Yeah.
order.
I
So
have
you
to
have
stage.
sweatpants, shorts, shirts,
Yeah.
underwear.
you
socks.
fold it and put it in the basket that way?
No, it's on top of the dryer, and then you take
Yeah.
your pile and put it away.
For your humans?
George-
like
I mean,
Rich,
I'll put Eli's stuff away. But
Eli.
Gavin does his own laundry.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're really just doing it for Rich.
Well, me, Rich, and Eli,
Yeah.
I'll wash the clothes and then I'll stack them up, and then
Okay.
and
So-
I'll
so-
put away mine and
Ca-
Eli's.
Ca-
I think-
Carrie
I
washes
think
her
George-
own clothes.
I think George meant to say shirt. But I hang her tip for her.
I hang her shit for her. Way to go, George. Way to hang the shit out
I hang
to
the
dry.
shit.
But I feel like I'm much more productive of a person with a checklist. The
Mm,
time blocking,
me
I
too.
feel like it gives me more leeway, because the checklist, I get anxiety if everything's not done by end of day or
Ooh.
whatever.
Ooh,
So
okay.
I can't look at that. The time blocking, I could be like, oh, I'm supposed to be meditating, or I'm supposed to be doing whatever,
Whatever.
or I'm supposed
So-
to be cooking dinner, and I'm like,
So do you feel like
Checking
because
out the
you
Barcelona Peni.
if you time block for something that should take an hour, and you have 4 things that should take an hour, so you have 4 hours time blocked out, but the first thing takes 30 minutes, you're like, oh, I got an extra 30 minutes to just fuck around. And then you go and do that, and next thing you know, you're past the next hour and you're not into that next thing, and you're like all anxiety, right? Like, to me, I'm the same way, in the sense of I don't want a time block. I just want a checklist that I can pound through as fast as I can.
yeah.
I'm going to do it to my best ability. But if I time block, that means that like I'm done by 2:30. Well, my next time is not till 3. Well, now I got
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get all caught up in something.
Time block never works for me.
Right. Well, that's why, like,
Really?
when I'm at home, where if I work from home, that's why I have to put even like household items on my checklist, because as like whatever avid listeners know, I will go down a rabbit hole. Like I'll start doing laundry, then I'll do the dishes. Then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna eat lunch, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, that box looks old in there. And then I see something's expired. Then I clean the whole pantry out. Then I do like it's like I start.
Next thing I know, I'm getting emails from Steph at 2 a.m.
Right.
going, "What are you up to?"
I get stuck in a 3-hour movie on Netflix.
And we're getting emails at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Steph's like, "Hey, I thought about this for the show. What do you want to do about this? How about that? Yada yada." And you're like, "Steph, what the fuck?"
Carrie's like, Joe, tell her it's 4 o'clock.
No, Carrie doesn't care. She's usually up anyway.
But it's just like if I try to do the time blocking, I just start going down a rabbit hole, and then I don't know what. Then like next thing I know, I've overlapped all that stuff. That's why I need a checklist to be functional. If I need to get stuff done, if it's a casual day, I could do like a mental checklist, and I'll get to whatever the pressing stuff is.
Yes, we have a question from
on
the
that
audience.
Checklist, do you put time? Pick Eli up at 2:15.
Yes.
You put the time, so you'll time block, but not. I mean, it's on the checklist.
It's on the checklist that
why don't we just pick up Eli?
like. If I expect to do 10 things before Eli gets off the bus, Eli is number 11. If I finish those things before Eli, like okay, for example, last week I was doing stuff. I finished early. Then I went down a rabbit hole of something. And then next thing I know, Eli is walking home from the bus and I'm not outside.
And he's smoking a cigarette.
And
I was just saying, what's wrong with that? How far is the bus walk?
I could see it from my driveway, but technically, according to transportation, you're not allowed to walk home by yourself until 4th grade.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, our kids have been walking to school.
Meanwhile, the bus driver's like, "Hey, buddy, where's your mom? She must have time blocked me today." Jesus Christ. I'll just
time block for later.
I can see the cars in the driveway.
Don't worry.
Probably there.
She's home. Blocked. I'm good.
She's time blocked.
But like, and it was on the day that it was raining too. So it was even like, and he's like, I stood out in the rain for 2 minutes.
Great kid. Great kid. I walked uphill both ways in the snow, barefoot.
Clearly, mom is still listening.
Mom's chiming in now.
Linda.
Stephanie.
Linda, I'm sure that never happened with you and Stephanie.
Yeah, exactly, Mom.
The apple don't fall far.
Yeah, Mom. Yeah, I bet, Mom, that Steph has some stories she could tell.
Like, hey, I took her to, and got busy. Next thing I know, she's graduating high school.
Next thing I know, I was showing up to Chuck E. Cheese. She had been there 2 hours, and there's $1,200 on my account.
And all she's got is 6 tickets.
All I get is a lousy Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, I have to put stuff in there. Like even like if I'm okay. So for example, like some Saturdays I'll come in and work in the office, like to get some stuff done and
Fridays
everything.
too with him.
Well, no, I'll just come in on a Saturday and get some stuff done in the morning and then get home. But I have to put on my schedule because sometimes Rich and I have like date night on Saturdays.
Hey, keep that out of this show. That's
I have to put it.
Wait, is it on the checklist?
Yes.
Oh, then all right, it's in the show.
I have to put in there like get in shower, go. Because I will be that horrible person that will just do a horse bath and go on a date.
Shower. Check. Turn on water.
Oh my God. All right. I want to know what's the worst thing that's been on the checklist.
That's for the show for Halloween, Joe.
Mom says, don't worry. She's coming back to next week to town and she will handle the situation. Good luck, Steph. I mean, I can
in the know
say,
with Joe.
Steph's gone. It's just Joe. now.
I'm grounded.
Checklist. Ground Stephanie.
No, but I'll do that too, especially on Saturdays. I come in, I've got a couple things to do. I have come in, done things, oh, I should vacuum that or whatever, get out of it.
Squirrel.
And then I leave and I get home. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to do A, B, and C.
Squirrel.
Right.
Yeah.
What,
I don't have that checklist.
But it's like sometimes when you get here and you're like, I'm working on a half day on Saturday. I promised Alice, that's it. It's a half day. But when you get here and you start diving into stuff, the next thing you know, it's like 3 or 4
I
in
can
the
be here
afternoon.
all day. Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
How often? Okay, checklist. Does checklist matter for brain, or is a checklist in your brain the same as a checklist on paper?
No, if it's in my brain, I feel like it's more of a routine and casual kind of thing.
No, not what I'm saying. I'm saying like literally any checklist you create, is it the same as in your brain as it is on paper?
No.
Or is a physical checklist on paper
There's more accountability
the
to the
difference
paper.
maker?
That's a difference maker for me.
You think so?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah. There's way more accountability on a piece of paper than there is when you
So
write
no
it
matter
down.
what, you guys, it let's end all be all from here on out. If you're creating or want to do a checklist, it's write it down.
Yeah.
Period.
If I take the
Right?
time to write it down, that means that said things are important enough to be accomplished in that day.
Ooh, I love that you just said that. If
So-
I write it down, it's that important to me.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Love that. Oh, except for mom. She's not writing her age down.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry.
my
I
mom-
read that wrong.
My mom will write every checklist down.
Oh,
She will write if she has a simple checklist or a very structured checklist, she writes it down.
she's just
And,
saying
like-
she's not at my age. What
Like-
are you not doing at your age, Linda? But
Not
I'd
doing
actually-
mental checklists.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't want to hear something dirty.
But so because like
Delicious
like for example, when my mom does the cookies, like she made those Steph's bookkeeping cookies for
Uh-huh.
that mixer.
too. But
She will take the cookie, draw a picture of it on a piece of paper, and then she will put the layers of royal icing and list them and list the specific colors and the die numbers on her piece of paper to do it in the proper
To
order.
do it in that order.
Yeah.
I just went through and have been doing certain things in my garage, like trying to build things. I'm doing the Brew Fest next week and or this weekend, actually tomorrow. Geez, comes up quick.
Cary Grove Chamber.
Cary Grove Chamber. Well, it's out of the Rotary of
okay.
Cary Grove Rotary out at Rotary Park. But I'm on the committee and I'm trying to gather everything. And it's like, oh yeah, we need this. Oh yeah, we need that. And it's like, I can't, all I got to do is just start writing things, right? So somebody texts me something and I'm like, write it down. Just scribble a note. Because even if I just have those 3 bullet points on that pad of paper or that piece of paper, I can rip that off and go, all right, add this in, right? It's that stupid quick checklist so I don't forget those things.
Right.
Because 5 seconds later, somebody else is going to call me and I'm going to get, drug into a conversation. I'm going to forget those stupid 3 things that somebody just told me that I need to bring to the event, like raffle tickets or, right, lederhosen outfit.
So like what?
Oh, I'm wearing one tomorrow.
So
Anyway.
So when you guys had mentioned that when you do the checklist and you take it as like a game to complete it and everything.
Mhm.
So how accomplished and satisfied do you feel on the days that you have a physical checklist and you get 10 items done in a day versus you might get 10 items done in a day, but you have no checklist? Do you feel more accomplished seeing it on the piece of paper that you
Yes.
were able to tick it
Yeah.
off?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. Any other questions?
I mean, tomorrow I'll be at the Super Motocross World Championship finals.
Come again?
Yeah, tomorrow my checklist is the Super Motocross World Championships
That's it?
down in Joliet.
You're just going to be there, hanging out.
Yeah, no checklist there.
Are you a participant or are you
No,
a
I'm
spectator?
just a fan. I'm just
a
watching.
spectator.
Mhm.
Okay.
Watching a bunch of room.
Great event. Sounds like.
I hope so.
Always love
Bunch
a
of
good
rednecks.
roaring engine.
A bunch of rednecks there.
Yep.
No,
That's my crowd.
I am so that if I have 15 things on the checklist and I get through 10, it's pretty successful there. If I only get through 3, I'm a little upset with my my input.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Hang on, I got a question.
Yeah.
You don't gauge your items on your checklist based off of duration?
Nope.
Like,
if I wrote 15 things down, I feel that I should be able to get 15 things done that day. That's me.
What if you write down like repave the driveway, rebuild the deck, build my new shed, and
then that's the only thing that's on there for the day.
Well, that's what so that's what I'm asking though is
Well,
are you writing 15
realistic.
things that are realistic, or are you writing three things that are realistic, right? Like, yeah,
if
what's
I put
your
15 things down there? I feel in my heart and head that I can get that done in that day.
Got it. Okay, so you are putting a checklist down that is doable for that day.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I put down I'm going to go and rebuild my shed, I'm not looking to put many other things on that list for that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to be realistic, because if you're putting the shed plus like 6 other things, you're going to always feel defeated because you're never going to be able to get through the list. It's just like your SMART goals.
Time bound. Okay.
So I was the guy. I'm of the age. In Linda.
Come again?
What
does that stand for?
Usually after a few hours. I am of the age that we had the daily planners, right? So the Covey whatever, right? And it was the day timers and things like that. So if I didn't get it done, you put that up here on the first of the next day. So my entire
Palm Pilot.
No, it was
before that.
It was the book. Yeah, it was the little leather
paper bound. Oh, my mom rocked those things.
That's why checklists are important to me, because at the beginning of the day, here's what you do. This is what I've done through most of my adult life, is saying, okay, here's the calendar today. It has taken me a long time to be able to just look at my phone and go, what do I have going on today? Right.
Do you feel you can recreate that paper checklist? Because a lot of us, it sounds like the three of us are all about paper checklists or a written physical checklist, right? So can you guys create that checklist on your phone?
No, I
recreate it.
I need to have paper so I can see the
really
or something like that.
You have this stupid notes app in your thing that has checks. Nope.
It's not the same.
It's not.
I can easily recreate it on my phone. I just need I just literally want to see it written down. It doesn't matter if it's on a piece of paper or in my phone. I just need it written down somewhere.
I like my little purse-sized notebook that I have that I'll write the stuff in, or I'll send emails to my team like, hey, this is on your schedule today. Please do in this order. On certain days of the month, I will do that, but most of the time they're able to manage and do their own schedule, like their day,
however they see fit for the
right. So if there's like 5 tasks on their day, they can do it in whatever order they want, but some days I want it done specifically.
They can write it on a piece of paper, or they could put it in their computer. You don't care how they write it.
No, I don't care, but for me personally, I need it
on a paper. Look at that.
For me personally, I need it on the piece of paper. I'll put my scheduled meetings and locations in my phone because it's shared, so everybody knows where I'm at.
But that's more of like
the
calendar.
only right. That's the only thing
that's a calendar app.
But
right?
I need it on there. I want to take my pen and feel the ink cross off the thing. That's what I want to do.
I'm with you.
But I'm very old school in things too, because I still write paper checks for a lot of things. So
I just wrote 4 paper checks this week.
I like the old.
So I'm not opposed to old school.
Yeah,
I'm not.
You can see. I'm showing you guys. There's my calendar. So there's things quote unquote time blocked. But if I don't have,
I'm all for like blocking time out in your calendar for certain things. But I think I'm the same way. I don't want to time block, quote unquote, because I can knock a project out that's on my list.
Here's my time block in my Google Calendar.
So
that looks like a jumble. That looks like a Venn diagram.
Any listeners out there right now,
colors are important.
Are you pro more so for time blocking or the checklist? Because I feel like the three of us are kind of on the same page with the checklist versus the time block. Is there anybody that does the time blocking successfully and they feel like it's a better tool for them than the checklist?
There's nobody.
if they hang on, if they're out there, hang on. If they're out there, I'm just gonna say, can you please send us your psych evaluation to make sure it's because I can bet that you don't have ADHD like the rest of us. Yeah. Because I can't time block. I
can't either.
Squirrel off.
I do. You see that, and colors mean, but then it comes up, you're like, oh, whatever. I still have these things to do from this morning. So to me, I
like this. I'm gonna cheat. Okay,
especially on the business side of things. I don't need to be someplace for 8 to 10 hours if my checklist is done in 3. Right. So as
exactly what I'm saying.
As a salesperson, so yesterday, let's use a story yesterday. First day back from week off at the bank. And I get there at about 8:30. I'm done with my checklist and everything that I need to do at about 12:30. But I have a 4:30 appointment. So now I've got 4 hours to burn.
Sit there.
Unfortunately, I can do things. I worked very hard, if you're listening, boss, the entire day. But right. But at that time, I should have gone and started making outside sales calls. But I didn't have it on my checklist.
So,
right? Because there's a lot of follow-up. There's to get through a week's worth of emails, things like that, and follow up with clients, things like that. But I got it all done in about 4 hours. But because it wasn't on my checklist, I'm like, well, looks like, yeah. And then I'm like, all right, it should be about 4:30, 1:30. It should be about 4:30, 1:35, because I didn't have it on the checklist. So for me, I should have had the mentality to go, I need to add more to my checklist. But I didn't. I go, my checklist is complete.
Done. Do you, okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel like you're more efficient with your checklist when there is a personal activity that is coming on that you are specifically excited for? Meaning you have a vacation coming up and you got to get X amount of work done before you go on said vacation, right? Are you more apt to be efficient and pound out that checklist so well because the vacation is coming up and you want to make sure everything's done? Or are you more apt to, because it's Monday morning and you come in all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, or Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't know what day you come in the most bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but do you feel that you're more apt to do it because there's a goal that is outside of the company that you have coming to you because, hey, if I finish this, I get to get out and go on vacation? Or is it like, hey, I'm coming in Monday morning?
I work on vacation, so
I do too.
I'm totally the person that buys the Wi-Fi and works on my lap. I get so much work done on the airplane. Like if I'm going to visit my mom in Arizona or something, I get like that 3-hour plane ride. The amount of work I get done because my phone doesn't ring for 3 hours is insane. Like I will do whatever needs to be done to prep for my team and whatever like physical meetings that need to be done prior to me leaving. But my work, I get so much done on the plane. Nobody bothers me. Nobody talks to me. The flight attendant comes and brings me cocktails. Like it's amazing. Like it's amazing.
Okay. So when I was in insurance, I would, that time that you have on the plane, that time to me was from 4 a.m. until 9 a.m. I had 5 hours. From 4 a.m. I would be in the office until 9 a.m. And from those 5 hours every day, nobody called me.
Right.
Nobody talked to me. I could literally just sit at my desk and pound out work. And then from 9 a.m. until noon, I could make as many calls as I want. And my checklist was already done by 9 a.m. when everybody else was getting into the office.
Yeah.
So
that's why I work sometimes on Saturday or Sunday. I'll come to the office because nobody
calls you.
Nobody calls me. Like today, for example, we were doing sales tax training. So I was showing my team how to do and file sales tax today. But while I was doing that, like the amount of text messages or phone calls during the thing, like it's like distracting sometimes.
100%. So do you feel that sometimes if your checklist is building up, right? Because you may have a checklist one day, you don't get everything done, that checklist spills over to the next day, but you still have things that are building up on that next checklist, right? The next day. So do you find it? I know you do. Kent, do you go, because I know you do. Kent, do you show up ever or get up and just get on your computer and like pound out? Because I know the brown line in Chicago, not that brown line, the brown line in Chicago runs at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Right. And I could be downtown by 4:30, 4:45 in the morning in my desk and doing work. I know I've gotten emails, texts, maybe a call or two.
Well, I won't call in the middle of the night.
Early in the morning. I think we've talked at 5:30 in the morning before.
Yeah, but you own a restoration company. You're up.
Fair enough. Okay, so that's my thing though. Is you do it, right? I know you do it, Steph. Do you go? If you feel the shit's flowing down the hill and you got to get up and you're like, I got just so much on my checklist and I got 3 days worth of checklist piling up, I got to get up early. Is that a drive to get up early and go in and get them done? Answer it for your boss.
Yeah, no, there are. Yeah, if again, remember, if it didn't get done, you move it to the top of the checklist for the next day.
Correct.
And depending on what I have going that day, yeah, there's been times where I've been downloading and prepping shows and stuff at 6 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. I get up at 5:30 anyway. There are times on the other side of it that the checklist is done and I'm trying to get somebody pre-approved where again I'm staying up till maybe 11 working on a deal because I don't feel like getting up in the morning to do it. So on both sides of that, yeah,
it's whatever side of the candle you want to burn, right?
Yeah.
Like, but
right.
you're knowing that, hey, come tomorrow, I either need to have it done by tonight or it's got to be done first thing in the morning tomorrow. And I don't feel like getting up and going in and rushing in at butt crack of dawn.
Correct.
I'd rather burn the midnight candle, right? Totally doable. I love that. To me, that's like kind of what sets the doers apart, right? It's those of us that are out, people are like, oh man, you get so much done. Yeah, it's because I created a checklist, and then if my checklist isn't done, I'm either staying up until it gets done, or I'm getting up at the butt crack of dawn to get it done.
Yeah. I mean, that happened when I was doing job interviews and whatever. I was like explaining like the day and the day to day, and then I said about like some other things like with the radio show and things that I have, and she's like, I just don't understand how you do that all, and you have kids and this and that. I'm like, and I'm like just looking at her like that's the wrong answer in a job interview.
There are not 8 hours a day, lady.
I'm like, what?
Thanks. We're in the process.
But
we'll reach out to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Or like, so I've had situations. So like I have on our CRM, it has all of our tasks for the day. So like I'll put X amount of tasks on each person for the day. But sometimes mine get a little backed up due to meetings or additional things or whatever's going on.
Radio show.
And so that list looks overwhelming to me then on the screen. But if I take said list and I write it down on a piece of paper and I don't ever look at my screen that has the list on it and I just crank through my list that I wrote down and I'll do it like 10 clients at a time. It's just way less like I don't have the paralysis by analysis because it's like I feel like I don't know where to start.
So it really is the computer screen versus the written. Like to me, it doesn't matter. A list is a list, whether it's on my phone or
if I have like 45 things on my computer list, but I'm like,
45 things on this list. It doesn't matter.
but I won't put it down in 45 things on the piece of paper. I'll do it in 10 client blocks where I know I can get through 10 clients in a day.
You're writing it and blocking it differently.
You know, I could get through these 10 in a day, or I could get through this 16 in a day.
Well,
but looking at that list is just overwhelming to me.
Well, the other thing is this.
Yeah.
The other thing is this, and I'm going to guess, right? You do it on a 3-ring binder or something of that nature, and it's on your desk or it's on the kitchen table or whatever. So every time I walk by, I see it, or it's on my desk, I see it. But my computer could go to sleep and then it's gone. And if I don't look at my phone because it's in my back pocket, right? That's who I am.
I'm a millennial. I look at my phone all the time.
Yeah.
No. I mean, if it's on the piece of paper, like if it's on the piece of paper, like
Listen,
on the legal
phone
pad,
off too.
like I have I don't even know how many half filled out legal pads throughout either my
the
office,
house. Right. Just
or,
sketching notes.
Right.
I do that with these, literally like these.
And so like it's just all there, and like if I have to walk by it, like Kent's saying, it's like I feel so judged by that piece of paper when I'm walking by it versus my computer that's closed, and I'm like, whatever, forget you're closed. But that piece of paper, and I could see the writing on it, and I'm like, oh, it's judging me.
No, see,
like,
all right. So here to me, you guys see the piece of
anxiety.
paper. You guys see the piece of paper, and it judges you. To me, I think I have a list. It's not checked off. That's all I think about.
Yeah.
I have a list. It's not checked off. It doesn't matter if it's in paper. It could be literally.
No, it's so easy.
Look, can you see this? I have a list texted to myself because I text lists to myself so I can literally check them off on my.
Right, but I'm with Steph. If I don't, if that piece of paper is not shooting me and saying, "Hey, idiot, you wrote this down. This was important," and it's on my phone, I'll go. I guess I'll play solitaire.
Right.
That's discipline.
Checklist.
That's a whole nother episode.
Like, on my phone, there's too much distraction. Right. You got TikTok, you have Facebook.
George Chase is making notes right now.
Yeah. Post-it notes don't even work for me. Give
Come
me a
on.
sheet of paper.
Really?
Yeah.
So here's the deal, though. I'll write the Post-it note down, George. I'll write the Post-it note down. And then I'll go and do it real quick, or I'll add it to a big master list.
Let me give you a little inside hint, George, and everybody else on Kent Jones. If you see him writing something down on a Post-it note, that's my way of saying, I want you to think that I'm paying attention and it's important to me. As soon as you leave, I'm going to rip the thing up and throw it away. There you go. Sharon, hi.
There it is. Sharon says, Sharon's with me. She says, I have to have my phone or computer because I lose that stupid little piece of paper. I didn't. That's she said. Just a piece of paper.
Listen, Sharon, that's the wrong answer.
Listen, Sharon, I love you. You're great. Keep it up.
But what I like what Steph said. Steph, you had said, if I get stuck someplace or whatever, I can go back to my checklist, right? So checklist for when you're bust. So it's like Detroit or bust or whatever. I think it helps move you along. But I'm with
Island
you.
Or bust.
If I don't have that checklist, or if I'm stuck someplace, I'll go, let me write a few, hey, it's 2 p.m. Let me write about 3 or 4 things that I can get done by the end of the day or whatever.
Right.
Because
I'll do I'll do a couple easy things to get my body and brain moving. And then I'll do a couple hard things. And then I'll go back to a couple easy things. So like my brain can go back and forth.
Yeah. Sharon says, however, the Post-it note is screaming, do me now.
Is that like in a non-sexual way?
Yeah, I don't think that's mature amateur.
It doesn't matter. I don't care who it is. It's not related to me.
Yeah, it's not mature amateur.
Sorry. Yes, Aunt Sharon. I don't care how the note is written down. I've used both written and on my phone, right? I'll use both.
Oh, we're in the last minute. You gotta do
what I've learned today is didn't I already state it?
I don't know.
I think I did. I think I said I learned.
It was a little premature, so now do it when you're supposed to do it.
She had me at do me now.
Are you ready for Uncle George?
I don't know what that is, but I think I've seen the movie.
I just made it up. What I have learned is that you need to write notes no matter what, right? Like everybody should write a note, and whether or not it's on paper or some people find it better on paper and a little more pertinent if it's on paper, but to me, it's just write it down. You got to write it down, whether it be in your phone or whatever.
Okay.
That's it. I think it's write it down.
Okay.
Do me now.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Here's what I learned. If I ever run into Sharon, I'm going to make sure I have a Post-it note.
Cheese and rice.
Absolutely. Absolutely love you for that, Sharon.
So I think that what I learned
We just made Christmas
is
real hot.
Linda's having a blast
Or
right now,
Hanukkah. We
rolling
made Hanukkah
laughing.
real hot.
today's Rosh Hashanah. So happy Rosh
Rosh
Hashanah
Hashanah,
to
that's
everybody.
Is it right now or is it
Today.
tonight?
Well, tonight. It's
Tonight,
sunset.
yeah, it's
Enjoy.
not yet. Thank you. Okay.
But so
Happy Rosh Hashanah.
I think I
mean,
learned that my family is no
not
longer
happy.
allowed to participate at the show.
Hey, listen, what did you learn?
I think that I guess it just confirms that the checklist, that the writing down is definitely, I'm not the only one that feels that it gives you more accountability. And so so I think that that the writing down, I think, is the way to go. Whether or not that you
I
do
guess for
that.
922.
Who needs to
It's
grow
gotta-
up, Aunt Sharon?
It's gotta be
Oh my
you,
God,
Joe.
I feel like the show topic for next week is going to be perfect, because the show topic next week is what is asking for forgiveness versus permission.
That's right.
So
Aunt
that,
Sharon, who needs to grow up?
Gotta be you.
I need to ask for forgiveness.
Listen, here's the other thing too, for all of our listeners out there. Keep an eye out. We're going to put out a little, what is it called? Like a Facebook thing.
Link.
yeah.
Yeah, like a
Link.
Yeah, we want to get your feedback on some stuff,
There you go.
right?
A survey.
Survey
link.
Survey is what I was looking for.
There you go.
Oh.
I didn't have it written on my to-do list here for the show. But keep your eye out there on Steph and Joe 21.6. So we're going to put out there a little survey, get some feedback for you from this show, because there's a lot of good stuff that's going to be coming up in the next 12 months.
Can I make one
Mhm.
thing? All right. So, well, two things. One, Brewfest is tomorrow in Cary Rotary Park. Anybody that is in the Cary area, come on out, and you can buy tickets at the door. Totally worth it. Yep. Responsibly. There are designated driver tickets you can buy. So if you have a DD, that's awesome. But it supports the local charities. Other thing is, I just found out today that we are the longest running show on 216 The Net.
Yeah.
Consistently longest running show.
Yeah, live. Because
longest
the deep
live
dive-
running. Well, let's specify. We're the longest live running show. I thought we ought to promote that a little bit.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's
It
good
is.
stuff. Yeah.
Way to go,
You guys,
Steph.
you guys haven't learned yet. I mean,
No, you haven't learned yet. Yeah. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Listen, for all of us here at 21.6 The Net, thanks for getting caught in the net. This has been another exciting episode of In the Know with Steph and Joe. Remember, make checklists and do it. We'll see you next week where we're
Do
going to ask for forgiveness.
Amen.